Hello everyone, my name's Vincent, and I got a bunch of bullshit to talk about. I'm This subject really pisses me off, but so so first off, about a year ago, almost a year ago, I uploaded a video called YouTube's Big Problem, where essentially I talked about how people on YouTube who take other people's footage and they make money off of it. It's basically about plagiarism, is essentially what it is, and how people get away with it on YouTube. So I guess this is kind of part two to that, because this expands upon it in a different way. Because the fact that people plagiarize on YouTube and get away with it, yet for the people who get falsely accused of things, and the people who, and when it's actually fair use, quote unquote fair use. So I'm not saying every case is like this, not everyone, and for the most part, YouTube gets it right. I want to be fair here. Look at both sides. YouTube, for the most part, gets it right. But I'll get to that later. The fact that, big companies, for instance, claim or videos get DMCA'd on false, when it's, legit things, is also a problem. This is the other end of the stick, I guess, from the other video I made, which is obviously this one. It's the other end of the stick. So, looking at it from that perspective, I wanted to basically say how much of a problem it is, because this year specifically, it's been brewing up since I remember, late 2014 is when they made that gaming change, the YouTube gaming change, where companies like Nintendo have cracked down really hard on their gameplay shown on YouTube, which I disagree with, because I think I think the fact that, because the way they see it is that it's like people who use I guess, let's say Nintendo's gameplay. Nintendo sees that as it being you're copying, or you're taking my footage, which they're trying to protect their product, I guess you could say. Where in other companies like Blizzard and Steam, I think, and Ubisoft is a good example. They don't give a shit, because it's self-promotion. We're promoting their products. And I think that's a good way of interacting, with the community, getting a direct output or direct input from other the customers, I guess, because that's what it's about. They're the ones that fuel your existence as a company. You shouldn't and obviously, I'm sure that's a very consumer thing to say, but you gotta put yourself in that perspective. I mean, it makes so much sense to get direct output, or oh my god, I keep saying that, direct input from the people who are receiving your product. Now let's fast forward here to 2016, where they're talking about basically, we had the Fine Bros thing last month, right? And that was a big ordeal, and all of a sudden, there's a lot. This stems into the whole, false claims and false flagging and all false things. Something that really struck me, though, was the fact that, and something I think is one of the, if not the biggest problem, is the fact that people are getting, there is no consequences for people who false claim something, or say, you're using my product, and even though it's in fair use, I don't care, I want to false claim it. Then they can do whatever the hell they want, because there's no repercussions, there's no incentive for what they're doing. Because look, they can do whatever they want and if it ends up going through the process, which is a really long process, by the way, at least 40 days for the most part. And who knows how long for like a small channel. And if it turns out that and during that time, by the way, they're making the money. Like if you monetize, which I don't, I never monetize any of my videos, but if you monetize, they'll take all the money that they made, they keep. So anyway, I'm sure you guys know everything about it, but the big thing is the fact that there's really no repercussions if you false claim something. Now, I want to make a very clear point here, very quickly. Well, not very quickly, but a clear point: the fact that, like I said earlier, for the most part, like at least 77%. I'm just taking an arbitrary number here. No, obviously no like sources or anything. This is completely like off the top of my head here. If I were to guess, I would say at least 77% of the time YouTube gets the copyright claim correct, because YouTube literally has billions of hours of footage every week. Hell, probably more. So for a human being to sift through all of that, with a fine-tooth comb, that is impossible. They need some automated system to help recognize all of those situations. Now, when it comes to the processing unit, right now YouTube is complete garbage because there's really no human interaction for the most part. There's really no help, and there's, as a result, these companies are just suppressing the minority here. There's not much that these people can do because YouTube is relying heavily on that automated system of bots, and like I said, for the most part it gets it right. But when it comes to people's livelihood at stake, because people do use YouTube obviously as a source of income, that's their main source of income. When it gets to that point and you need to talk to someone like an actual human being, it becomes very difficult because if you use YouTube as a job, in my opinion, I don't think YouTube would be a job. I think it's really fun, but that's obviously my opinion. But for people who like go balls deep and do advertisements, treat it like a show, I guess. Like, let's take the Fine Brothers for example. They're a very good example, and they don't realize that people, like I said, people's livelihood are at stake, and they need to have that human interaction, or else they could be gone, I guess, in this world, laid off, whatever. But I don't know, it's a bunch of bullshit, because it just doesn't, it's not fair to the content creators who are bringing traffic into here, like and they're getting false claimed, and it's a problem, and it's going to exist no matter what, I think. And I don't think it's only going to exist obviously on YouTube's platform, but for any kind of media platform. The people who made the law of copyright and fair use and all that purposely made it so that it was open-ended and could be open to interpretation. They purposely did that, so they gotta, and that comes with pros and cons, obviously. So I guess the main point here is the fact that, yes, plagiarism is very wrong, and if people are pirating stuff, your videos, you have every right to take them down with full force. It's one of YouTube's biggest problems. And will it be resolved? Probably not, because as big as a platform as YouTube is, it's almost impossible for a human being to go through every single thing and get it right every single time, because there's so many hours of footage, so many videos, But if you have like big channels, let's say a big channel is quantified as more than 350,000, I don't know, 350,000 or more, let's say. If they have like a big channel like that and they get false claimed or whatever, and they're a big source of traffic for the the website, I guess. You would figure that a human being would be there to help or be on the fly, but that's actually kind of not the case. So, I guess, the big question here is, or not the big question, but the big thing here is the fact that, there needs to be repercussions for people who abuse the system to basically, steal other people's money. Because, like I said before, when it's in that process of being claimed or striked or whatever, they're making money off of the video, and you're not making a dime. So, this is more of a bigger problem for bigger channels in terms of finances. But for like, let's say like a little channel, not me at all. I totally do not want to do this as a job. But let's say for little channels, they want to get bigger, and their channel revolves around reviewing. And you know how impossible it would be for a little channel. Let's say a little channel is like, this channel has maybe about 500,000, or not 500,000, 500 subscribers. What are they going to do? Because if it's hard for a big channel to reach someone, a human being, and YouTube supports, whatever, what chance does someone who has an even more distant echo, I guess, have in making their voice heard? It's you see the dilemma here. So that's the problem here, and unfortunately, I don't think it's ever going to go away. It's a dilemma that will always exist. Pirating will always exist. And that's really all I have to say about it. I mean, it's unfortunate. The Fine Brothers going downhill big time, and it's honestly having a big ripple on YouTube. Because YouTube over the past couple of years has really been they've been doing some good things, but they've been doing more things that piss people off than they do, that, like, I have yet to see something they have done in the past couple of years that have made a majority of people on YouTube adore it rather than, abhor it. So that was, it really kickstarted after the two channel thing, but the comment system, oh my god, that was a debacle. Holy shit. And the inbox, this has all been amalgamating, honestly. YouTube doesn't give a jack shit, because YouTube right now is a monopoly. And, it's a fact. You're not going to go to, who's going to go to Dailymotion? No one's going to go to Dailymotion. Vimeo, maybe, for, like, artists, but that's it. YouTube has no competition. They have no incentive to change, because they're not going to lose any users. And, who is going to make another video sharing platform website that is both innovative and both can stack up against Google? They're not leaving any room for competition, and you can't really do anything about it. You can try, and I think it would be a great thing if there was at least one more video sharing site that was as big, if not bigger, than YouTube. But there isn't, because, when YouTube was conceived, it wasn't seen as this big millennial platform as it is today. I guess no one really saw the potential with it, or with video sharing in general. And that's just kind of a timeline of technology and how culture reacts to it. All that kind of fun psychological shit. But moral of the story is that YouTube has no competition, thus there's no reason for them to do what other people say, because they don't give a shit. They're gonna make money no matter what. The only way that it would possibly work is if people like boycotted it and no one watched videos, but that wouldn't even work either, because I mean, let's be real here. You guys are probably not going to stop watching, other big YouTubers if you do, and that would be affecting their livelihood. Blah blah blah. And it's a bunch of bullshit. But you know what? I'm gonna end it over here before I get into a big rant about that. This is pretty big, honestly. This is a big deal, and I don't upload as much as I don't upload 2 videos a day. I try to keep it to 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Obviously I haven't done that in a while. It's been really hard this past month because of work, and I work late, so it's hard for me to record. I don't want to record when I'm tired, because I'm not gonna force reactions, and on top of that, school or classwork. It's really difficult to juggle all these things and record and edit, because rendering takes a long time. I mean, for my computer. So there's a lot of reasons, and this next week though, there will be more videos coming out Monday, Wednesday, Friday for sure. Actually, this one will be out next Wednesday. And I'm already uploading the one for Monday, as you can see there, which I'm not even going to show because, surprise, surprise, whatever. But, nonetheless, thank you guys for watching. There will be 3 videos next week, and there will be more after that, because I'll have more time this next couple months, because I'll be working way less for specific reasons. I'm obviously not going to go delve deep into my personal life, but that's that. So look forward to that, and I'm really happy, and I'm really excited to get into that. So hopefully you guys will look forward to that, and that'll be pretty fun. So again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.